So shoulder flexion, we're going to start right here, hold. From here, we're going to squeeze the biceps and the triceps, and we're going to wring the biceps forward and wrap it around. So biceps forward, and then we're going to reach back as we create a big circle with our hand and shoulder, reaching all the way back into extension. And as we reach back, freeze right here. Keep internally rotating the shoulder, or wrapping the shoulder in, and keep extending the shoulder back, and the back of the hand will meet the side of the body at the end of the half of rep 1. From here, go ahead and go back into extension, externally rotate, reach back, all the way up, forward, and down, okay? So that would be a shoulder car or a shoulder control articular rotation, okay? From here, what we'll do is show you the external rotation. What you're gonna do is take a TRX strap or a ring, and you're gonna rig it up. From here, we're gonna step with the same side of foot forward and squeeze our opposite hand. Our elbow's at a 90-degree angle here. And we're gonna hold this stretch passively for up to 2 minutes. So at least 1 minute. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. What I like to cue people is inhale for 4, exhale for 8, and do that 6 times, and you'll get at least 60 seconds if you do it correctly. So after breathing passively for up to 1 minute to 2 minutes, we're going to begin trying to push the strap or the TRX ring forward. Okay, so we're trying to push forward, but we're not going to go anywhere because we have a static barrier. And so what we're doing is we're ramping up isometric contraction, 1%, 2%, all the way to 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70% effort, whole body's contracting, okay? And then from here, holding after 10 seconds, going into your rouse contraction, going in the opposite way, deeper into your external rotation, okay? So again, passive stretch up to 2 minutes, then begin to irradiate throughout the whole body, muscle recruits throughout the entire body to create tension in the shoulder, 0 to 100%. After 100% effort, hold for 10 seconds. After that, keep the irradiation high as you go deeper into external rotation, causing there to be slack in the strap. After that, repeat as much as prescribed or as many times as you feel is necessary. So that would be external rotation, pals and rails. For internal rotation, pals and rails, you'll need your yoga block and lacrosse ball. And what we're going to do is just scoop the body into an L-shaped position. Okay? The hand is out in front of the shoulder and then go down about 10 degrees. Stack the feet, flex the quads, hold on to the lacrosse ball. From here, we're going to take the opposite hand, go across the wrist and lower forearm as we go into internal rotation. From here, the hand is going toward the belt buckle. We're going to hold this passively again, 0 to 2 minutes. Inhale for 4, exhale for 8. If you do that 6 times, you'll get at least 60 seconds. So doing that, inhale for 4, exhale for 8, deep diaphragmatic breathing, really passively stretching first. Then begin to amp up the effort, pushing the wrist into the hand and hand into the wrist, 0 to 100%. You can go 10%, 20%, 30%, all the way to 100% effort. Isometric contraction, whole body irradiates, 10-second hold at your maximal contraction. After that, you're going to go deeper into your internal rotation. Try to lift away from the hand, pulling down toward the ground. As long as you can, up to 10 seconds, and then go back into your passive stretch. Okay, and then repeat that process as much as needed. Now, if you have issues in your shoulders, you know, and go to 30%, go to 40%, don't go all the way to 100%. You should never feel pain, okay? If you feel pain, or if you're prescribed this exercise, then make sure that you handle your own pain prescription. So you shouldn't have any pain And if you do have pain, that would be a notification for you to get seen at a doctor. So that would be internal rotation, pals and rails. Now what we'll show you is a doorway stretch, okay? This would be more for the pectoralis major. So this would be a common doorway stretch. We're gonna put the elbow and hand into the doorway or bar. We're gonna step with the opposite foot this time. And then from here, we're gonna breathe passively for 2 minutes. Inhale 4, exhale 8, diaphragmatic breathing. Then I'm gonna start pressing the whole chest, the shoulder, the elbow, the hand, the forearm, all into the entire surface here. Okay, 0% all the way to 100%. After that, I'm going to keep my body irradiated throughout this whole process, and I'm going to regress or go the opposite direction away from the barrier. Okay, and then I'll go deeper into my stretch the next time I do it. Okay, so that would be a chest-shoulder combo, getting both the chest and shoulder. You can also do the same thing. You can also do the same thing by bending over into flexion, holding here, pushing into the barrier, and then lifting away from the barrier. Okay, you can do that on your hands and knees as well. Okay, you can go like this, push into the ground, and then try to hover off the ground. Same thing on the other side. Okay, and that's going to strengthen and help create a little bit of mobility in those shoulders. Another thing you can do with the yoga block and lacrosse ball is lay on your stomach and place the yoga block down and get into your shoulder flexion. Hold here. You can press down into the yoga block, and then again you can lift off with a neutral scapula. So try not to be jacking the scapula all the way up. You can also test here your capacity, your passive range lift-offs away from the object, and you can make it higher and see how long you can hover. You can do axial rotations here, and you can do small circles, and you can do figure eights in this end range. Okay, you can do it out there, you can do it right here. Okay, you can do it out to the side, and then you can also do it in extension. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about today is extension. So shoulder extension, passive range liftoff would be this. Shoulder extension, passive range, and rotational training would be your axial rotations. Kind of keep it up as high as possible. And then you can also get into shoulder extension, elbow hinge, going up and then down here. So shoulder extension and elbow flexion here, active here. And then you can also add the hinge, up, back, down, and relax. Inhale, pack the air low, irradiate, up, back, and down. Okay, that would be extension. One more for extension. You can do pals and rails in extension here. So you can get a barrier like this, TRX strap, or rings, hold passive stretch 1 to 2 minutes. And then from here, start pressing down, 0 to 100%. That would be your pals contraction. And then your rails contraction would be going deeper into shoulder extension without jetting the head forward. Just like that. So shoulder extension, shoulder external rotation, internal rotation is on the mat in the L. And then you can work on shoulder flexion on your stomach. And then make sure they always end with a good shoulder car to save your work. Okay? Those are some shoulder exercises you can start doing now.